Hey there, space cadets! Welcome aboard the International Space Station, where everyday objects behave in the most extraordinary ways. Have you ever wondered what happens to your favorite sticky treat in outer space? Well, today, we're diving into the sweet and sticky world of honey. That's right, we're talking about honey. This golden liquid behaves quite differently when it's up here in microgravity. Up in microgravity, honey acts pretty different than it does here on Earth. Instead of dripping and flowing, it floats and forms into fascinating shapes. It's like magic, but with science. The lack of gravity means that honey doesn't behave the way we're used to. Down here on Earth, gravity pulls honey down, making it drip and flow. We see it oozing out of jars and dripping off spoons. But in space, honey floats. It doesn't drip or run. Instead, it forms into blobs and wobbly balls. It forms into a wobbly ball suspended in midair. These floating blobs are mesmerizing to watch and even more fun to play with. Imagine eating honey with a spoon that floats too. Every meal becomes an adventure when you're in space. This happens because in space there's almost no gravity to pull things down. Everything, including honey, floats around freely. It's a whole new world of fun physics. The microgravity environment allows us to see and understand the behavior of liquids in a completely different way. So buckle up, because we're about to explore the fascinating behavior of honey in microgravity. Get ready for a sweet journey through the wonders of space. You know how water always finds its level? That's gravity at work. On Earth, gravity pulls everything towards the center, making water flow downhill and settle in low places like lakes and oceans. It's a force we often take for granted. It pulls everything towards the center of the Earth. This force is what keeps us grounded and gives us a sense of up and down. But in space, where gravity is super weak, fluids behave differently. We call this microgravity. In this environment, the rules change dramatically. In microgravity, fluids like water and honey don't flow downward. Instead, they float and move in unexpected ways. Instead, they clump together, forming a sphere. This happens because the forces that usually pull them down are almost non-existent. That's because of something called surface tension. Surface tension acts like an invisible skin, holding the liquid together in a tight, cohesive shape. Think of it like an invisible skin, holding the liquid together. This skin is strong enough to keep the liquid in a spherical form, even in the absence of gravity. Honey is thicker and stickier than water, something we call viscosity. Viscosity is a measure of a fluid's resistance to flow. So in space, honey forms a wobbly ball that's slower to move around. Its higher viscosity makes it behave differently compared to water. It's like a slow-motion dance of deliciousness. Watching honey float and wobble in microgravity is a mesmerizing sight, showcasing the unique behavior of fluids in space. Astronauts have had some sticky situations with honey in space. The unique environment of the International Space Station presents challenges that are both fascinating and unexpected. When you think about honey on Earth, it's already quite sticky and tricky to handle. Now imagine that same honey in a place where gravity doesn't pull it down. There's actual footage of astronauts playing with a blob of honey. In the microgravity environment of the ISS, the honey doesn't behave like it does on Earth. Instead of dripping or spreading, it forms a floating blob. It floats there, glistening like a golden jewel, as they poke and prod it. The honey's surface tension is incredibly strong in space, making it act almost like a solid object. They notice that the honey's surface tension is so strong, it doesn't want to break apart. This property makes it both intriguing and challenging to work with. It stretches and wobbles, but it stays together. The honey's viscosity adds another layer of complexity, as it moves slowly and resists quick changes in shape. And because it's so viscous, it moves slowly, making it both fascinating and a little bit messy to handle. The slow movement can be mesmerizing to watch, but it also means that any attempt to manipulate it requires patience and precision. Imagine trying to spread honey on a piece of toast in space. The honey doesn't stay put, and the toast might float away if you're not careful. It would be quite the challenge. Every meal becomes an experiment in physics and patience, as astronauts learn to adapt to their unique environment. But hey, that's all part of the adventure of living in microgravity, right? The challenges are just another aspect of the incredible experience of being in space, where even the simplest tasks become extraordinary. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating insights into life in space. Section 5. Space explorers love honey. You might be surprised to learn that honey is actually a popular food for astronauts. It's packed with energy and nutrients, making it a great snack for long space missions. Plus, its natural sweetness is a welcome treat when you're far from home. Astronauts have even been known to use honey to sweeten their space tea. So, the next time you enjoy a spoonful of honey, remember that it's not just delicious, it's also space food.